Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call to order the closed session meeting for Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Mr. Domer, roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Crosby.
Here.
Councilmember Johnston.
Present.
Councilmember Lau. Present. Mayor Pro Tem Kashfagita is a little bit late, and Mayor Hepburn.
Present. The City Council will meet in closed session for the following. Assistant City Attorney Sy, please read the closed session items for the record and let us know if there will be any report out afterwards.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. We have conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. Negotiators, City Manager, Assistant City Manager, and City Attorney. Employee organizations, Laverne City Employees Association, Laverne Fire Middle Management Association, Laverne Police Middle Management Association, and all unrepresented employees. You also have conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D, one case, Alejandra versus City of Laverne, et al., Los Angeles Superior Court, case number 24PSCV02330, and there is no anticipated report out tonight.
Thank you very much, Assistant City Attorney Sy. Council, do you have any comments? There's too much chocolate in his mouth. Any public comments on this matter? We're going to open up public comments. A minute. We see no one with public comments. We're going to go ahead and close public comments. Thank you. At this time, we will recess at 5:32 p.m. and reconvene at 6:30 p.m. for our regular City Council meeting. Good evening, everybody. We're going to start this meeting tonight. Glad you all could make it. We're going to start this meeting tonight at 6:32 p.m. We're reconvening our regular. We had a closed session meeting. Attorney Sy, did we have anything to report out on the closed session?
No, Mr. Mayor, Council, members of the audience, direction was given to staff and no reportable action was taken.
Thank you very much. I want to remind everyone that per the city's rules of decorum, all speakers, members of the audience, and council members are to conduct themselves with decorum and not to engage in conduct that interrupts the orderly conduct of the city council meeting. Also, public comment through Zoom may be accepted for the agenda items listed within the consent calendar, public hearing, and discussion calendar sections of the agenda. General public comments will be accepted at the meeting by those physically in attendance at the appropriate time. Tonight, we're very pleased to have Marine Corporal David Kofi to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. David, please come forward.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Kofi. You could just stay there for just a second, please.
Hold on 1 second, Marine. There's more Marines in the house, right? We got many Marines.
I'll pray for you.
Please do. You know what the Army stands for?
I'm
Ain't ready to
afraid
be a
that.
Marine yet?
Okay.
Later with a Marine.
In private, right?
Well, let me come right in here. How's that? What a great day. Being presence of an amazing Marine right here. We appreciate you coming to our great city. We are opening our city council meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance from a veteran. Warms my heart. And as a veteran myself and still serving is something I'm great honored to have. And today we have the great honor of having a Marine corporal. So, Marine, I would like, and the city would like to know a little bit about yourself. I'd like to know what your MOS is when you joined. That's the first one.
I spent September 1967 to September 1971. I spent 6 months in Vietnam and had pulled my squadron out and sent us to Japan. It was a relief to leave. We didn't mind at all, but I'm very proud to have served during that time. It was kind of a rough time because lost a lot of civilian friends during that time. But times like this, it just makes it all worthwhile.
What was your MOS?
I couldn't tell you. I worked on aircraft.
You're a rifleman at first, right?
Yeah, rifleman first.
The rifleman?
That's right. Did they pound that into our heads?
Oh, I'm sure they did. They're never given.
In fact, I was stationed in Da Nang, which there's really no safe place in a war zone like that. But we had rifles ready the whole time.
Most memorable time.
Yeah. Most of the time. Actually, when I was in Japan, I got to go to the World's Fair 1971 in Osaka, Japan. Got to actually stay with a family that put us up for the 3 nights we were there. It was very educational. Had a good time and behaved ourselves mostly. The whole experience, the discipline carried on into my civilian life. Actually, they taught me electronics, so I got a job with defense industry after I got out.
There you go. Hold on one second, Ray. All right. City of Laverne Certificate of Recognition presented to David Coffey. The certificate is presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council to Marine Corporal David Coffey with sincere gratitude and appreciation for your dedicated service to our country. God bless you, Marine, and your family.
Thank you, guys. Roll call, Mr. Domer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Crosby.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Lau.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Cashafogita.
Present.
And Mayor Hepburn.
Here. Go ahead. Here we go. Oh, wait. Tonight we have 3 presentations. First, the recognition of volunteers who have dedicated more than 3 decades of exceptional service to the Laverne Police Department on the emergency communications team. Will Kathy and David Mejia come forward, please? No, they're husband and wife. We know that. They're different. Okay, then we're gonna start with the boss first. Thank you. You're gonna have to.
Oh.
Only about 20 pages.
Okay, that's fine.
Is it? Kathy Macchia, otherwise known as KD6HEQ. Is that what you call her at home? Okay, just checking. Has dedicated more than 30 years of outstanding volunteer service to the Laverne Emergency Communications Team, providing critical communication support to the Laverne Police Department during emergencies and disaster situations. Licensed as an amateur radio operator since 1992, Kathy has consistently demonstrated a strong commitment to public safety and community service. Kathy also served as a Red Cross volunteer from 1992 to 1995, including her important work during the Northridge earthquake at the Red Cross shelter in Pasadena, where phone service was down for days and ham radio was essential for requesting supplies and delivering status reports. After moving to Laverne in 1995, Kathy joined the ham radio emergency communications group known as the Lasers. Shortly after her husband Dave joined the team, since then, she has supported major repeater upgrades such as the Motorola installations in 2003 and on Johnstone Peak in 2007, and participating in weekly radio nets, monthly meetings, and regular emergency drills. Kathy's dedications, reliability, and service-minded spirit have played a lasting role in strengthening Laverne's emergency preparedness, and the city is sincerely grateful for her 30 years of volunteer support. Thank you so much. I'll set it up. Your turn now. David Macchia, otherwise known as KM6RW. That's your call sign. Very good. Has devoted more than 3 decades of exceptional service to the Laverne Police Department's volunteer organization known as LECT, a Laverne Emergency Communications Team. David earned his ham license in 1989 and has held an extra class license since 1992, bringing a lifetime of technical expertise from a telecommunications and data communications career that began in 1979. David has served as president-elect since 2003, contributing countless hours in support of public safety. Among the team's notable activations, LECT represented LVPD during the Northridge earthquake, provided vital emergency communications between the Emergency Operations Center and the Red Cross. Additionally, 20 years ago, when LVPD radio communications were being jammed by an unknown person, Dave deployed his directional antenna, drove throughout the city, located the source of the interference, and assisted responding LVPD units in stopping the jamming and restoring full radio communications to the police department. That's a round of applause. Thank you. David's unwavering commitment, technical skill, and willingness to serve alongside law enforcement exemplify the highest standard of volunteer service, and the city is deeply grateful for his enduring dedication to the safety and well-being of the Laverne community. Round of applause for both of you. We'll read this. This certificate is presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council to Laverne Emergency Communications Team member David Macchia for the sincere gratitude and appreciation for decades of dedicated service to the safety of Laverne. And we got to do yours too. Come on. We mad at it. This certificate is presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council to Laverne Emergency Communications Team member Kathy Macchia for the sincere gratitude and appreciation for decades of dedicated service to the safety of Laverne. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. Would you like to say a word?
I'm amazed at the size of the check.
Oh, you want to give those? Sure. Here.
Sure. Good evening. Thank you, David and Kathy.
This is not Senator Rubio.
No. Just real quick, people are wondering probably what's LECT or what's lasers. In law enforcement, we like to have redundant systems, and if ever our radio system goes down, we have a redundancy in where we have a backup. And these fine folks here, through their expertise, allow us to stay active and communicate during a disaster or any type of emergencies. So they meet regularly to make sure that our radio system is working, and they've done it for over 30 years, so that's amazing. So we've shared that information with Senator Susan Rubio, who sends her regards. She couldn't be here today, but also provided these 2 certificates. So I'll read these on behalf of Senator Rubio. On behalf of the California State Senate, it is my honor to recognize your exceptional volunteer efforts and technical expertise with the Laverne Emergency Communications Team. Your longstanding dedication to public safety and serving others is truly an inspiration. I applaud your compassion and hard work in supporting and uplifting the city of Laverne and its residents. Thank you for your service, and congratulations to both of you.
I'm a ham radio operator. Can I say I'm speechless? Or how much time do we have?
Not a lot, but you can say a few words.
30 years.
Thank you very much. Kathy and I, we've been volunteers had our ham radio licenses, and we have skills, the equipment, and we wanted to not just have them sitting on a shelf someplace, but actually use. And we've done that, got the redundant communication. At my home, I've got a backup station, solar powered. If the power were to go out, the internet were to go out, and phones were out, we could still communicate with anybody in the world, including sending for amateur. And would send the emails out to maybe somebody in New York or Arizona who did have internet power. So put a lot of time and effort into it, and it was a pleasure.
Well, we really appreciate it. You don't realize that we're so used to our cell phones and so used to technology. And when a computer goes down or your cell phone goes down, you go, I'm lost. This is the technology. It's like it's rock solid, and it'll be there from the test of time, continue on when we do lose those, which there are going to be times when that does happen. God forbid we'd have a catastrophic situation. But we really appreciate what you guys do. And just let us know if you need more equipment, Chief. Take care of them, please. They're our backup. They're our backup. But thank you guys very much for all your dedication and your years of service. Thank you. We look forward to 30 more years. There you go. Okay, 20. You and me both. 20. One more round of applause, please.
Our next presentation item tonight is the Black History Month proclamation. Every February, National Black History Month serves as both a celebration of the achievements of African Americans and a recognition of the central role they have played in our nation's development. The Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Phi Upsilon chapter at the University of Laverne was chartered in 2024 as the first internationally recognized intercollegiate and first African American Greek letter fraternity on campus. The fraternity has quickly established itself as a leader in educational outreach, civic engagement, and community service. Through initiatives such as Go to High School, Go to College, and A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, the chapter has reached over 5,000 students with college readiness programming, registered more than 2,000 students to vote, and partnered with local organizations to provide mentorship, supplies, and support to youth in the community. 2024 wasn't that long ago, so this chapter has been very busy. Will Terrence Williams and the rest of the chapter please come forward? So this proclamation says, whereas Black History Month is an annual celebration in February that honors and reflects on the significant contributions, achievements, and rich cultural heritage of African Americans who have indelibly shaped our nation's history. And whereas Black and African Americans have been among our nation's most influential leaders, making enduring contributions that have significantly shaped the cultural and political development of the United States. And whereas the 2026 national theme for Black History Month, A Century of Black History Commemorations, recognizes the importance of reflecting on the past while continuing to move forward. And whereas the City of Laverne acknowledges that this commemoration provides an opportunity to recognize the lasting impact of Black history on our nation, to honor the contributions of Black and African Americans across generations, and to encourage continued education, understanding, and engagement with this shared history. And whereas the City of Laverne acknowledges Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Inc. for its historic legacy and the members' ongoing commitment to service, leadership, and educational advancement, and for its positive impact on the Laverne community through outreach and civic engagement efforts. Now be it proclaimed by the City of Laverne that the month of February 2026 be recognized as Black History Month, and that the city reaffirms its commitment to uplifting, protecting, promoting, and preserving this history by encouraging all residents this month and throughout the year to learn, observe, celebrate, and honor Black history and culture. dated the 17th day of February, 2026. Thank you. So for the second council meeting in a row, we've had the distinct pleasure of having some amazing University of La Verne students up here. So the last time we were here, you saw the University of La Verne women's volleyball team, and now you get to see the proud men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Again, the chapter's only been instituted on our campus since 2024. We're barely just edging into 2026, and the amount of good work that these students have done is incredible. They're all, good students, really good stewards of the university and of the community in which they live, and the amount of passion they have for what they're doing is really something to be proud of. And I hope that if you haven't met a University of La Verne student yet, you get to. And I hope with these engagements you get to see what an awesome community we have. So I'm going to give this mic to Terrence and see if you have any words that you want to share.
Well, again, my name is Terrence Williams, Jr. I'm the president of Phi Upsilon chapter, seated at the University of La Verne. I have short words. I would love to say that within the 2 years of being on our campus, and, it's by far the most amazing that our service to our community, and not just to our community, to our university, has been approved. I would like to say thank you again for giving us.
Our final presentation is the Community Design Awards. The City of La Verne Community Design Awards recognizes outstanding achievements in project development. It takes considerable effort to design a project with cooperation between the applicants, owners, architects, contractors, and city staff for successful implementation. Realizing this cooperation, the City Council awards projects that merit recognition for excellence in design and compliance with the general plan policies to protect and promote La Verne's unique character by encouraging distinctive development through architectural quality and design. I'd like to ask our council colleagues to help with that. And we will start off with the first one, which would be, survey says, Hot Works La Verne, Stella Beck, 1395 Foothill Boulevard, awarded in the category of commercial interior design. Hotworks is a 24-hour infrared fitness studio that offers a unique workout experience combining heat, infrared energy, and exercise to help members get efficient, result-focused workouts. And it is a beautiful place. If you don't, it's next to Sprouts. It's amazing. You guys need to go in and check it out. And, of course, sign up for a membership, But thank you. Thank you for participating. Thank you also for being part of our city. Oh, you're too much. Okay, our next one is Carpiao Family Orthodontics. Weston Carpiao, are you in today? Are you here? Oh, please, come on over. He's got all the kids. Bring them all up. Come on, bring those kids up. Thank you very much. Hi, guys. Hi. They are at 929 West Foothill Boulevard, Suite F, awarded in the category of Interior Design. Capriar Family Orthodontics is a local orthodontic practice specializing in braces and clear aligner treatments for children's, teens, and adults. They are heavily involved in the Laverne community outside of their business. You guys do. You do our Chamber of Commerce. You do a lot of things for our community. I know that the girls' softball at their opening and a lot of their functions, you guys have a booth there. We really do appreciate it, and we do really appreciate our businesses in Laverne. It's the backbone of our community, and you guys do a wonderful job. Plus, you got kids, and yeah, not you. No, it's your staff. I know. But anyway, you guys need to check this out. It's beautiful. The interior, you guys can't see this, obviously, but this is for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, here.
This is my oldest, Ellery. We have Ashton, he's the youngest, and we have Colette, and my wife, Krista, born and raised here in Laverne. When these guys were getting out of preschool, we decided to move here and raise our family here, so it's been good to be back and be involved as much as we can.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody got a good smile. Smile.
Stop by and check out his place. It's gorgeous. Lesso Studios, Mario Villalobos. Is he here tonight? This is 2125 Bonita Avenue, awarded in the category of interior design. You guys, Lesso Salon Studios offers design-driven salon spaces in vibrant locations and thoughtfully crafted products, providing a supportive community where independent beauty professionals can thrive and deliver exceptional service, care, experience to the client. Congratulations. Orange Fish Sushi, Igna Saputra. They're not. Did I say that right? I did. Come on up. Come on. You guys don't know, this is where the old person Ford was, and they're in the center of the driveway on the left side as you come through, and I've heard nothing but great things about you guys. So they're awarded in the category of commercial interior design. Orange Fish Sushi is a vibrant new dining establishment offering high-quality sushi and Japanese cuisine. They transformed the existing space, created a modern, inviting atmosphere. It is really beautiful. You guys need to check it out. And you have all-you-can-eat sushi, is that correct? And you have a lunch menu and a dinner menu. There you go. So come on, guys. Let's give them some love. I'm going to give this to you. Congratulations. Why do I always get behind the tall one? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll make sure we bring lots of people. Especially Cash. He likes all you can. Our next one, a White Industrial Chalmers Corporation. Anyone from Chalmers Corporation? That would 1510 North White Avenue. As you go down White, as you're crossing Arrow Highway, it's on the left-hand side. It's a brand new building. It's awarded in the category of industrial. White Industrial is an industrial property that has undergone significant sign improvements and enhanced the overall appearance of the property. It is a beautiful building, a beautiful tilt-up. Yes. Well, thank you. We have Heritage on first. Victor Lockett. Is Victor in tonight? Victor, come on. Come on, this is a family affair. Come on. You guys have noticed that this is on First Street and White Avenue. It's the 17 luxury townhomes. It was awarded in the category of residential and public art. Heritage on First is a newly constructed community featuring 17 luxury townhomes that incorporates modern architectural elements and features a unique public art installation facing White Avenue. We're very happy with that. You guys did a great job. Thank you. Thank you again. Congratulations. You want to introduce your family?
my daughter Sarah, my wife. Yeah.
They let you do this. You know that. Okay. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much. Thank you again. Thank you. Keep building in Laverne, please. Get some land. Next one, for Donna 1, the Brandywine Homes. Awarded in the CAG. Is someone here from Brandywine? Awarded in the category of residential, Verdana 1, located on Fruit Street, includes 50 elevated and spacious townhomes featuring Spanish and Mediterranean architecture. I like them. I think they did a great job. And hopefully our next building next to that will complement what you guys did and single family too. But thank you very much, and thank you for investing in our. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you again. Thank you. This is Verdana 2, Brandywine Homes on Walnut Street. You got it. Come on. Just stay up here. You're just building all over the place. We love it. Awarded in the category of residential, Verdana 2 is a thoughtfully designed affordable housing community. The project includes 8 detached affordable units on Walnut Street, also designed with Spanish and Mediterranean architecture. This was a piece of property from that Laverne City owned, and when they built the Brandywine original project, we made that part of the deal. I think the homes went for $450,000, and there was how many applicants actually applied for it? Yeah, and it was in Laverne, a $453,000 home is a steal, and they're they're amazing homes. They're on Walnut Street, and Walnut Street, after the last 5 years, Walnut Street has amazing, and you guys have done it beautiful. I know the rest. $453,000 area like this, so it really worked out well, the partnership. Thank you. Why don't you stay up? Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Please. Love it. This is the Felix residence, Kenneth Felix. Bring the family up. Hello, Ab? Magella. For no help. Thank you. This is you guys job in this house. Was awarded in the category of residential and landscape. The Felix residence has undergone significant improvements, including exterior upgrades, landscaping, and architectural refinements. The interior remodel and landscape improvements transform the property into a visually striking home that complements the surrounding neighborhood. You guys did an amazing job. It looks beautiful. Very beautiful. Thank you.
Are we invited to the party?
Yeah. How about tonight? Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I also want to thank Jeremy Conrad. He is the chair of the Planning Commission. He could not make it tonight. He is an active firefighter, and not in an active firefight, but he's on duty. And also thank to our Community Development Director, Eric Shear, and his staff. This was a lot of fun. It's always fun going over these, and there was quite a few to choose from, so we will have this hopefully every year and more to follow. But thank you very much for all the staff and everyone that contributed to this. Now we will move on to, one second here. Now we move on to announcements of upcoming community events. Do we have, here we go. We have a few here. We have Tom Cornicelli, library announcements. Come on up. Oh, we got.
Where's Adrian? I was running for
Acting librarian. So I just wanted to make a few announcements of what we have upcoming this week and ongoing. Our ongoing program is our Smarty Pants Story Time. It's our children's readiness for ages 2 to 5 with their parent or caregiver, which involves some educational storybooks, some singing, and craft activity. It all has a learning element to it for those TKs and pre-Ks. And then in recognition of Black History Month, we have this week, actually, we have 3 events this week. We have our children's event will be tomorrow evening, and it is, it's Celebrate African American and Black Inventors Creation Station. That'll be with Angela, our children's librarian, and it's join us to celebrate American and Black History Month by recreating designs created by African American and Black inventors. And then we have our teen event will be on Thursday afternoon from 4 to 5, and that is draw a self-portrait, and this is in recognition of Jean. I'm going to say this wrong. Jean Baptiste. Yeah, thank you, Pascal. And it's there'll be a short video presentation of the history behind his work, and then a chance for the teens to draw a self-portrait based on his methods. And then lastly, we have African American and Black History Month for adults. On Saturday, I believe from 1 to 2, and this is there'll be a short video describing some things that pertain to historic Black historic Black places, and we'll be focusing on recreational areas that pertain specifically to the Black and African American community during segregation time, or they were forced to be in their own places. We have a tote bag that you'll create with iron-on commemorative pictures of locations. And then, of course, we always have our ongoing material resources, electronic media, your ebooks, your audio books. We have movies that you can stream, in addition to, of course, all the resources we have within the library, which you're free to take advantage of. We strongly encourage it. it's no cost to join your library, and the more participation, the better for both of us, I guess. And that is it. Unless there's any questions.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Sherry Best.
Sherry Best with the Laverne Historical Society, and yes, March is coming up, and we have 2 events we would like to publicize and urge you to attend. Both are free and open to the public. So did you know, in 1908, San Dimas area rancher Charles Cannon sold a large part of his property, including Pudding Stone Canyon with its falls, to a Dr. Orloff Orlo of Los Angeles. Orlo publicized grand plans for his new domain, including 3 steel bridges to span canyons and an ornate house. Within weeks, however, he was arrested on an embezzlement charge, and details of his mysterious life and wanderings emerged. The presentation on Monday, March the 9th, 2026 at 7 o'clock at the Hillcrest Meeting House will discuss his strange story and unusual aspects of this history of San Dimas. So we're going to tattle on our neighbors and talk about San Dimas. And they're certainly invited to come.
The best.
On her stories.
Yeah.
What's that?
You always have the best hooks on
You
your
like
stories to get
that?
'em in.
And I cannot take credit for this. That little hook was written by Paul Spitzeri, who is the museum director of the Workman and Temple Homestead Museum in the City of Industry, and he will be our speaker. If you've not heard him speak, he's a wonderful speaker. He's a wonderful human being. And we will have our presentation at the Meeting House at 7 o'clock on the 9th of March. And that's free and open to the public, so come join us. Now, a little bit later in the month of March, come fly high with the Laverne Historical Society. We're going to go over to Brackett Airfield on Sunday, the 15th of March at 10 a.m., and we will look at vintage airplanes and visit with members of the Brackett Airmen Association. Did you know they existed? I didn't. So we're going to go over there, take a look at their airplanes, and then linger afterwards, maybe have a hot dog at their hot dog tent, or go have some breakfast at Norm's Hangar. So if you've never been there, that's another event. And this is also free and open to the public. Won't that be fun? And previews of coming events. Mark your calendar for the 8th of June. That is our spring member and community meeting. We have a special guest speaker, Dr. David Lehman, who is a retired Navy, I want to say captain, but I think he is higher up the ladder than that. Anyhow, he's going to talk about the history of JPL. He worked for NASA for years and years, and he should be just a wonderful speaker. So that will be also a great event. I really do urge people to bring their kids to these events. They're free, they're open to the public, they're educational, and they're exciting. So come join the Laverne Historical Society. And while you're thinking of joining, your membership is due. If you need to renew your membership, you need to do that. And it's $20 for an individual member, $25 for a family membership, $200 for a lifetime membership. If you're not a member, the cost is the same. We have not raised our prices. We do not charge tax. We do not charge tariffs. We just straight up what you are charged is what you're going to pay, and that's it.
And what about jams and
There you
Oh,
go.
yes.
I was going to hit her up.
early to the community meeting
And buy something good.
because you got new flavors coming.
Yes, I spent today making apple and apple cinnamon jelly after a trip to Oak Glen to buy apple cider on Sunday. So come buy fresh apple jelly and other things. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sherry. Anybody else have any announcements or upcoming events in the city? Mr. Swain. And then
Mayor, Council. It's good that some projects are measured as a marathon and not as a sprint, because next Tuesday, finally, after about 6 months of organizing, the Rustic Canyon Estates community is having their Firewise meeting. So this is the first time that we'll have our community members together to explain how we got to Firewise, what our assessment project was, what the 3-year plan is, and just entertain questions that I expect that we'll have quite a few. We're going to be lucky to have members of the fire department staff there, city staff. Patty already has it on your calendar. But look forward to that. We're going to have it just up here off of Foothill in town at the X2O restaurant. They have a facility in there called the Central Reception Hall, and that's where we're going to have our meeting. And really looking forward to now it's kicking this off to the next thing, which is really the community engagement and the actual physical process of home hardening against the wildfires. So, thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. Appreciate it. Thanks for your involvement and all the other people that are involved with that. Hopefully it'll make our insurance premiums go down. We'd hope. Any other announcements? How are you?
I'm Deborah Carter, one of your board members of the Laverne Chamber of Commerce, and I have just 2 reminders for you, please. The first is our State of the City address tomorrow at the University of Laverne Abrams campus. It will be at 8 o'clock. It is free, and you are welcome to register, or walk-ins are also welcome, so that you can hear about all the wonderful things going on in our beautiful city. The second is we are Toast of the Town being presented by the Laverne Chamber of Commerce on March 4th at 5 o'clock at the Metropolitan in Pomona, where we'll be celebrating the local excellence of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Anyone else wish to speak on announcements? Yes, sir. Please come up.
I put a speaker card in on another agenda. My name is Frank Guzman. I'm here with Pomona Valley Pride. I'm the executive director and also a member of CASI. So wanted to invite you all to our Oscars fundraiser and viewing party, which is March 15th. I also brought a packet for each of you, which has a list of the programs and events that the center offers. While we are located physically in Pomona, we represent the Pomona Valley region, including Laverne. So I wanted to make sure that you all know that you have a resource, and we're working hard to ensure that we are visible in your city and are able to be accessible to your residents as well. So I will drop this off with someone. But I wanted to say thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Any other announcements? Okay, we're going to bring it up to the dais. Mr. Crosby. Mr. Johnson. Councilmember Lau. Mayor Pro Tem Cash.
No, just happy birthday, Tim. We'll sing later tonight. I want you to know I'm not going to forget. Patty, I'm not forgetting tonight. Thank you. That's all I have.
We did have, and I know that Mayor Pro Tem Cash, the girls' water polo team did play, but they lost today. 5 o'clock against La Serna in the semifinals. Tomorrow, rain or shine, Bonita Lady Bearcats soccer team will be playing at 5 o'clock. They are in their semifinals. And again, rain or shine, unless there's thunder and lightning. If there's lightning, they will not play, but if it's raining, they're going to play. Believe me, we've spent a few days out on the field with water. That's why you have a water polo jacket to go on the soccer field.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, so anyway.
And we're still going to recognize the mayor, the girls' water polo team
yes,
for the outstanding.
Absolutely.
Our next city council meeting. So
absolutely.
To those ladies. Get that far.
Announcements today. I had the pleasure, and also our city manager, Ken Domer, Gil Cisneros, our 31st congressional district representative, our congressman, had a mayor and city manager meeting at the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments in Monrovia, just to kind of go over what we would like to see in our region and our cities and what we're experiencing with state and federal, and also to thank him for they gave us $1 million grant for our police department, for our dispatch center, and just a number of our cities he represents. Every city got something, and we were a large recipient of that. So it was a good engagement, a myriad of topics: water, homeless, how the grant picture looks like, how to submit your grants, and they do a really good job as far as his staff do, especially with our current administration. There are pincher words that we have to be careful of when we use in writing a grant, so they're very good at that to hopefully make it successful for us. But our police department, and I know Chief is very happy about that, Chief Gonzalez, it really helps us because, as we know, our general fund doesn't cover everything, and we need all the grants we can possibly get. Also, one more thing was the Gold Line. I sit on the Gold Line Authority. We selected a engineering partner for the next extension from Pomona to Claremont, and that's going to be Parsons. And they've changed from a different contracting method. Instead of what they used to use, they're now a construction manager at risk. So hopefully in May we'll be selecting a contractor to build the extension. There will be multiple bridges on this one. There'll be Town and Gary Avenue will have bridges, but that will complete us to Claremont, and then hopefully down the road, if the San Bernardino Transportation Authority can figure out what they want to do, we could get the extension from Claremont to Montclair, which would mean we go Claremont to Montclair to Ontario Airport eventually, which would be the ultimate goal of the light rail. So that was a good one, and that's pretty much it for now. We'll save the rest. With that, thank you for all sharing your announcements. Now we move on to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are routine and will be enacted by one motion unless a member of the City Council or a member of the audience requests separate discussion or just wants to make statement on one of those items. Council, any request to pull an item? No? With that, one real quick comment on that one. Yes. Was there any items pulled?
Yes, there was an item number 3 pulled by a member of the public.
Item 3?
Yes.
That would be the Irish American Heritage Proclamation request?
Correct.
Okay. I just had one more comment. There is an item on our consent calendar, the Metro A Line, formerly Gold Line Transit-Oriented Development Bridge, a grant easement with LA County Fairplex. This is one of the last final things that we need to do for our A-Line, Gold Line bridge that goes over to the Fairplex property. So the Fairplex has granted us the property now for an easement. The only thing we're waiting on now is the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments, who's building the bridge for us, and we have the funding, is the Edison and the Metro. We have an easement where Edison's been dragging their feet, and we are trying to get them to get their utilities relocated so we can build our bridge, and that's the one stumbling block. But I commend our staff, our Cody Howling, our engineer, community development director, and also city manager negotiating with Fairplex. It was quite an ordeal, but they are really good to work with. But our Edison and Metro and also the COG are working closely to solve that so we get a date to get hopefully we're looking at maybe March or April to start getting those relocated so we have a hard deadline of the 2027 so we can be there for the Olympics. So people can come off the A-Line and go right over to Cricket and enjoy the facilities, and also from the University of Verne, have pop-up parties and things for the Olympics. So with that, except for item number 3, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the consent calendar, except item number 3.
Do I have a second? Vote, please.
The consent calendar, except item 3, is approved 5-0.
Thank you very much. Item 3, do we have a person in the audience that wishes to speak on item number 3?
Yes, I see him here,
Mr. Ivey.
Gilbert Ivey.
And for the record, I'll just state, motion by Crosby, seconded by Lau. Forgive me for not doing that first.
Good evening, everybody. First off, thank you so much for the proclamation for Black History Month. That was fantastic. We also want to acknowledge the passing of Jesse Jackson, huge American icon, and one of the people I met in the past that made us what we are today, great nation. But on this item, just wanted to say we appreciate and thank you for the proclamation that's going to be coming in March for Irish Heritage Month. We support that. Rick Bowen, who is one of the members of CASI, recommended it, and we certainly support that. Yvonne Gallegos, who was our vice chair of CASI, also sent a letter in requesting that, as well as a recognition of Women's History Month, also in March. And I don't know if you can add it to this when it comes at a different time, but we just want to be sure that we have that included for March, along with Irish Heritage Month. So we just wanted to let you know that CASI always stands ready to help and assist in any issues or proclamations dealing with history, having to do with the cultural community and inclusion, that we are here for you to work with the city manager and the city council. And I do want to say one thing. I know it's off a little bit, but I have to acknowledge Chief Gonzalez, because a month ago there was an incident in front of Roberta's restaurant where a person was protesting something dealing with politics, and his police force did a magnificent job of handling this thing, cooling the heads, and taking care of it. Thank you for that very much. It could have been a disaster, and I just want to let you know how much we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ivey. Appreciate those comments, too. Thank you. Any other comments from the audience on this item number 3? With that, second? Vote, please.
Item 3 of the consent calendar, motion by Johnson, seconded by Cashel-Fagita, and approved 5-0.
Thank you very much. Tonight there are 2 public hearing items. First is a resolution renewing Laverne Police Department's AB 481 military equipment policy and reaffirming the provisions of ordinance number 1115. I'd like to open the public hearing and ask the city manager to please call forward the staff member who will be reporting. I think that would be Captain Tibbetts. I can't wait for you to shuffle your paper. Good evening, Captain Tibbetts. How are you?
Good evening. How are you?
Good.
See if I can do this. I'm smiling. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council and City staff, and members of the public. Thank you for allowing me to speak today or tonight regarding the Assembly Bill 481 and its impact on our city. AB 481 was enacted in 2021 to increase transparency, accountability, and oversight over law enforcement agencies' acquisition and use of military equipment in California. The legislation requires law enforcement agencies to seek approval from the governing body, in this case our City Council, annually before funding, acquiring, or using specific types of military equipment. Under AB 41, law enforcement agencies must do a few things. We have to develop a military equipment use policy. This policy outlines the types, purpose, and authorized use of any military equipment our department possesses or seeks to acquire. We have to submit an annual report. That's been posted on our police department's website since December 30th, 2025. The report, which is in your agenda packet, will provide details on how the equipment has been used, its effectiveness, and any complaints that have been received. Agencies also must provide an opportunity for public comment. That's why we're here tonight, and a discussion before the City Council approves or rejects this policy. The City Council must review the policy each year to determine whether to continue use of the equipment if the equipment remains justified. And AB 41 aims to balance public safety with civil liberties, ensuring that law enforcement agencies use military-grade equipment responsibly and transparently. Adopting and implementing this policy fosters trust between law enforcement and the community while maintaining necessary public safety measures. This evening, we seek City Council approval of the Police Department's military equipment use policy, to receive and file the staff report, and continue the resolution adopted last year approving the Laverne Police Department's policy 701 as required pursuant to AB 481. And finally, AB 481 is an important step in reinforcing public trust and ensuring responsible governance over military equipment use. I appreciate your time and consideration in reviewing this policy and look forward to working together to enhance community safety and public confidence.
Thank you, Captain Tibbetts. We'll go to public comment, and then we'll have any questions, we'll bring it back up. Thank you very much. I'm going to open up public comment. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Do we have any comments from the dais on this item? Seeing none, thank you very much for the presentation. You're so good. There's no questions, sir. Thank you. We continue on as we do. May I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Vote, please.
Item 7, motion by Castelfagita, seconded by Crosby, and approved 5-0.
Thank you very much. We move on. Second public hearing is the weed abatement protest hearing. I'd like to open the public hearing and ask Fire Chief Coatney to come forward. Oh, we have to recuse. Steve is going to recuse himself, or do we just not vote on it? Okay. Does he need to remove himself? Yes.
Yeah, just out of abundance of caution, just, again, there's a property next door to
Before we
his
start.
business location, so therefore he will be recusing himself.
Yeah. Don't eat all those cookies.
Yeah.
Whatever you do. Chief Coatney, you got the floor. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council, and citizens from the public here. So on February 2nd, the Council adopted the resolution which accepted the declaration of the list of properties that have been found by inspections that were performed by the LA County Department of Agricultural Weights and Measures. And these properties were found to have growing weeds, brush, and or rubbish. Pursuant to those inspections and the formation of that list, that those listed properties have conditions that constitute a public nuisance and must be abated. Notices to deal with those, destroy the weeds, were mailed to property owners, notifying them of the hazard of public nuisance, and that they must be dealt with. The notices were sent, and which set tonight as the public hearing, Tuesday, February 17th, that we could hear from the affected property owners, and also that notice explained to them that they need to maintain their parcels in a fire-safe condition throughout the year. So that brings us to the point that any public that would like to make any protest for any of those, we're willing to take questions. We also have Inspector Nanette Cardenas from the Los Angeles County Department of Agriculture, Weights and Means that is here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chief.
Yep.
Appreciate that. We'll open up the public hearing. If we have any questions for Nanette, we'll bring her up. But do we have any public comment on this item? Yes, sir. Please come forward. You just state your name for us, please, sir.
Name is Ralph Beltran. Previous long-time resident. I was born here in Laverne. Regarding the weed abatement issue that you have, after 38 years of county service, my last 14 years was a trails maintenance supervisor. And what we did with projects like, or complaints like that, is that we used to work up in La Cañada, Flint Ridge, and Altadena, and we would involve the adjacent Boy Scout groups and have it as an Eagle Scout project. And you should reach out to them because they'll be more than glad to make that happen instead of burdening the homeowner with the cost or anything like that. We would be there at times with our trucks, dump trucks, tractors, and things like that as a trails unit. But they should reach out to the Boy Scout units in the area, and that's what we did. So I went to all different cities, and this all came up, and we had numerous accolades of what we did to help the homeowners for them not to incur any costs. So I would recommend that you reach out to the Boy Scouts as an Eagle Scout project. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Any other public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Tony, thank you. Council, any questions for staff or our representative from the county, Ms. Cardenas?
No, thank you. We appreciate you guys using your time, and thank you very much. All I have.
Yeah, I want to just one comment. I do appreciate the comment regarding the scouts. We have had the scouts do a number of projects on trailheads and cleaning up and signage and stuff like that, but that's a great idea. We can ask our counterparts with the county to look into that in the future. But with that, I'll take a motion. Thank you. Chief, we're done. Thank you. Motion?
Motion approved.
Second. Vote, please.
Item 8 was moved by Castelfagita, seconded by Lau, approved 4-0, with Councilmember Johnson recusing himself.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Cardenas. Appreciate it. Thank you for what you do for our community. He's finishing his cookies. He's got the oven going. There are 3 items on the discussion calendar tonight. First is the contract award for the Laverne Fire Station Number 1 Living Quarters Gender Compliance Improvement Project. Senior Manager Domer, please call forward the staff member who will be reporting. That would be Mr. Cody Howling, our Chief Engineer. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Yes, before you tonight is for consideration a contract award for improvements at the City of Laverne Fire Station Number 1. Recommendation for this evening is to first reject the bid submitted by Oasis Design. Second, reject the bid submitted by Co Brothers. 3, award the construction contract for the subject project to First Trade LLC, doing business as YMC, in the amount of $489,000. Authorize staff to issue change orders not exceeding 10% of the overall value for a total cost of $537,900 for the construction contract. Then number 5, authorize staff to issue purchase order for construction management inspection up to the amount of $40,740 to RKA Consulting Group. And finally, number 6, appropriate $243,750 in funds to the project number CF 2306 budget via the resolution attached to your packet. So I'm going to try to get through what I think are the highlights, and if there's any questions, please feel free to stop me. There's a lot to talk about in this project, and I think we're excited about upgrades at Fire Station 1. But I'll just set off with the project covers improvements on a building that was originally designed in 1979. Yeah, that's where the story starts. The exact construction date I have not been able to find, but obviously shortly thereafter the plans were approved. The building was constructed, and since then, for about the last 45 years or so, this building has been serving the community, both as a fire station, but also the police station. And so that's also referred to as the public safety building down off of 3rd Street. Anyways, over the years of the 45 years that facility has been serving the community, various upgrades have been made to keep the facility in line with current demands, state-of-the-art needs to ensure safety for the city. One particular area, though, that has lacked upgrades and improvements is particularly the living quarters for the fire station side of the building. Those, while they've had some, relatively light surface type improvements, they remain intact, essentially, to the original design. At that time, when the building was designed, the sleeping quarters are basically set up as a dormitory, leaving very little privacy or separation, particularly for a situation if the crews on staff included both male and female staff. The project initially started off as a restroom project, and city staff kind of took a bigger look and really assessed what did that project mean for the facility and how can we make sure that we are spending dollars in the most effective way so that we're not doing multiple upgrades. There about those times after lengthy discussions, an architect was brought on board and a design was developed. just a high-level overview of what exactly we're changing. The building itself, you probably won't see very much changing from the outside. Almost all the work is contained within the second story of the building. And basically, as it exists today, there's an area that is houses exercise equipment. That will be eliminated, and space will be moved around and reconfigured to take advantage of that space and use it more effectively for 2 new sleeping quarters, as well as a new bathroom and an office for the captain, which doesn't currently exist. So with those improvements, design went forward. This project, as council may recall, was brought to council's consideration for the rejection of all the bids back in October of 2025. Reason for that was the low bidder failed to, unfortunately, sign their bid. Bids at that, bids at that time did also come in higher than the engineer's estimate. The engineer's estimate for the construction of this project is $400,000. There's been some reconfiguration of the scope, particularly in how do you do construction on a fire station that is 24/7, running facility. You never know when they're going to be needed, and we need to make sure that we're managing that construction in a way that does not impact that service. So some adjustments have been made. I think one concept was kind of building a temporary fire station in the parking lot after assessing costs. That is quite expensive, honestly. So what we're approaching is a hybrid version. So within the fire station, there's a room called the day room, and that room basically serves as a place for firefighters to go relax if maybe it was a busy night, heavy calls. Maybe they can catch a few minutes of sleep there. So what we're going to do is we're still going to have a temporary building, but it will be a day room, and it won't require a bathroom. It won't require all the other heavy utilities that added significant cost to that other concept. So we've worked through that quite a bit. We went back through out to bid. This time around, we got 7 bidders. However, once again, we did have 2 bidders that failed to follow the directions. During the bidding process, we held 2 pre-bid meetings. They were mandatory. Attendance at one was mandatory, but attendance at both was recommended. And during those meetings, we highlighted specifically to bidders, 1, the issues of the past go-around, and 2, reiterated that, honestly, we need the documents that are identified as required to be completed, signed, and clearly submitted so that we can have a clean and no questions type of bid. As I said, unfortunately, the first 2 bidders failed to do that. First bidder failed to submit a complete bid summary and signed, and then the second bidder failed to identify the utilization of their subs. And so there we are left with the number 3 bidder as recommended this evening for council's consideration. One thing I'd like to touch on is the number 3 bidder at $489,000 is still $50,000 cheaper than the low bid, which, as I'll remind you, had to be rejected the last go-around. And so, again, the engineer's estimate being at $400,000 might be an aggressive number. We did get a bid below that, but at this time, staff's recommendation for council's consideration is to move forward with the number 3 bidder. Let's see, was there anything else that I wanted to touch on? Within the resolution, some additional funds of the amount to $243,750 have been identified to fill the budgetary gap. Budget set off as $410,000, and so without appropriation, if council chooses, the project will be fully funded and ready to proceed. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Cody. I think we'll open up public comment, and then we'll come back if we have any questions. I'm going to open up public comment. Anybody wish to speak on this item? That would be a no. We're going to go ahead and close public comment. Mr. Crosby.
When would the start date and proposed end date?
So start date hasn't been totally set. If council chooses to move forward with approving this contract, it would move forward with basically getting documents executed. Somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks from now, we'd have a kickoff meeting with the contractor. Particularly the temporary building and identifying that is going to be something that I anticipate will take a little while. In addition to that, the work really can't start until we get that temporary building up and running. and tied into the alarm system. So there's a county component. The city works with the County of Los Angeles, for the alarm coordination and so on. So to really tie down when we're going to start demo inside, I'd be cautious, but I would say probably in a matter of a few months or so, we ought to be able to be in a good spot and have maybe an idea of when actual work will start. As far as the duration of work, the project's broken into 4 phases so that we can allow the crews on staff to sleep in the building at night in different areas during different times. And that, with that process, which hopefully save money on the temporary fire station construction, we'll kind of extend the timeline out because we're going to break it down that way. And so the contract time, pending any material, weather, so on, delays, is 180 working days, as I recall.
Councilmember Johnson. The chief's shaking his head, so that means a no. That's a hard no.
That's a command post.
No, it's.
On-call command post. We had
Don't look at me with my RV, Steve.
No, it's not that type of
I want to ask the question first before you. It's a hard no. There you go. Councilmember Lau. Nothing? Mayor Pro Tem Cashevagita.
Thank you. The only question I had is there's no way we can actually build anywhere above the parking lot where our police officers park, or maybe where our firefighters park. Only on the side, not to the.
Yeah. Have you seen the prices of the construction lately?
I know.
Mr. Cashevagita.
That's why I'm asking.
We went down that path when it started off as a bathroom upgrade. Is what could we do with the site? The site is very critical. It's a location situation, especially for fire department response times and so on. So we did evaluate that. There was some studies done, and honestly, I think the cost was significant. There's some other issues with being that the building was built in 1979. It's built out of CMU block, and there's some feasibility challenges of upgrading it seismically for that, so that I think, alternative options, whether a different location or maybe a new building, honestly, I think we're going to be probably pencil out better for the city, but it's something we did evaluate.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, members of council, this is a, Band-Aid, and it has been in the process for several years, going back and forth, a lot of staff discussion about how to do it and not spend a lot of money, but to get what we need done. This is the Southern California version of the Winchester Mystery House, and with the EOC on top of the bay and a lot of other things. So ultimately, a new public safety building is absolutely needed. We just can't either on site or working with other larger vacant property owners somewhere. But it's the funding. That's easily $100 million project for a it's extremely expensive nowadays. So, but the two chiefs and I went to a station design conference over 2 years ago and met with a lot of folks. It is expensive. It's a laborious process, but it would need to have a lot of pre-design and a pre-conceptual work in order to just even look at how that could be financed and what it would hold. But there were studies from the early 90s, I believe, that talked about how the station, the public safety building for both fire and police, is undersized. So,
thank you, Cody. Thank you for the bid process. I think this is great. We actually came in with a lot more bidders. My only big concern is obviously the quarters and getting them to a situation where you have construction ongoing when you have an active fire station, police station, mobility issues. But I like the idea that's really creative on the day room. The quicker we get it done, the quicker we can get them taken care of. But I think that's the one thing we really want to track closely is the inconvenience to our staff, especially in a fire department that's 24/7, the same as our police department, 24/7. But it looks like you've got the right contractor. Hopefully they perform. But I do appreciate that. This is exactly what we're looking at. I think this is none of that value engineering and everything else that you're doing. Really appreciate that. Thank you. With that, do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second?
Second.
Vote, please. Thank you, Cody.
Item 9, motion by Cashel Fagita, seconded by Crosby, and approved 5-0.
Our second discussion item is the fiscal year 2025 mid-year budget review. Senior Manager Domer, please call for the staff member, which will be Christy Lopez.
You read my mind.
I know that.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So tonight I'm going to give you an update on where we currently anticipate we're going to be at the end of the year using forecasts based on activity through December. So overall, the budget is tracking generally in line with what council adopted in June. We have some minor variations that I'm going to talk about. For the general fund, we do have some revenues that are forecasted to exceed what we had originally anticipated, primarily within the building permit activity. We're looking at about $390,000 overall in revenue. $360,000 of that is related to building permit activity. And then additionally, we are looking at an increase of $247,000 net for expenditures, also primarily related to building permit activity, so since there is an offset for engineering costs. The projected year-end variance in the general fund is minimal, so we are looking, we take what we've done through through December, and then we anticipate personnel and operational through the end of the year. We're anticipating that right now that might be over about $63,000. Since that amount is so minor, we are not recommending any changes to personnel at this time. We have a lot of stuff that's up in the air right now with personnel. Police department is filling some of those vacancies. And so we really just kind of want to see what's going to happen in personnel because our estimates may be off with overtime specifically. And so since we do have a very strict budget and we are fiscally strained, council had requested that we provide quarterly updates. And so what we are requesting is that we bring this back to you in the next quarterly update. And if we need to do any modifications, then we'll ask for them at that time. But I believe that that will give us a better idea, not only for the changes that are happening within the police department, but also with the fire department. The 3 firefighters that were added as part of that pilot program, we are seeing that some positive results from that. However, we only have 3 months of activity. Since it did take some time to get those individuals on board, we didn't fully have those 3 positions staffed until the beginning of October. So we'd like to get another 3 months of information in order to really get a better idea on how that is performing. We do have some, moving on from the general fund, we do have some other funds. Measure LV sales tax will require a downward adjustment of $183,000 due to lagging performance in comparison to the forecast that we did at the beginning of, or for the budget. Additionally, we have some adjustments for the fire assignment fund. This is something that we do annually because we don't know how much activity we're going to have in that fire assignment fund. There is an offset of expenditures. So it's a net of 0. We do have a little bit of a benefit in the revenue, but that's what that adjustment is. And one thing I did want to point out is in the past, actually the past couple years, when I've come to do these mid-year adjustments, we have had some necessary appropriation needs, and primarily that was always related to, or mostly related to, public safety overtime. But if you remember, during our budget, we sat with both the police and the fire chief and talked to them about their recommendations for that forecast of overtime. And we think that this is why we are not coming back to you and asking for additional appropriations, is because it was more true to the activity. And it really is proving to be a better approach. We did, even though this is good news that we're not asking for more money at this time, and hopefully we won't have to, I do want to make sure that you remember that we are still using reserves in roughly about $1 million between the 115 Trust and the OPEB. And so we do have a anticipated increase with the revenue, general fund revenues versus the expenditures that we're asking. It's going to be a small, minor amount. In the event that that is how we end up, then we will use less of those reserves that we are anticipating. And besides the general fund for expenditures, we do have some requests for the risk management fund, and that's a very large expenditure increase. That was missed, so we did account for the revenues in the budget, but we did not account for the expenditures. Unfortunately, or just the reality is, we focus a lot of our time on the general fund, and not that we like to miss those other funds, but occasionally it happens. It is an internal service fund, so that activity is actually netted, since it's really activity that is provided by the other departments, since that is our risk management insurance. And other than that, if you have any questions, I'm available.
Thank you, Christy. I think we'll open up public comment first, and then we'll come back. If we have any questions, thank you. I'm going to open up public comment. Do we have any public comment on this item? On this? With that, I'd say no. I'm going to go ahead and close public comment, bring it back up to the dais. Mr. Crosby.
No, Christy has answered, and when I called and spoke with her earlier as well, answered all the questions I had on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just appreciate the transparency and bringing to us this mid-year budget review every year to go make sure where we're at, and so that we are not blindsided at the very end as well. I do like hearing when doing our talks past about overtime and how do we do it. I believe we even, the fire was looking to hire different staff to help cover for that as well, and then bring in that, so then that's working as well. So appreciate that. That's one thing that could really hurt and ruin our budget is personnel costs, and appreciate that our departments are really looking at that.
Councilmember Johnson.
No additional questions at this time. Thank you.
Councilmember Lau.
Just want to say thank you for, this is not to sound the way it's going to come out, but for following the direction of the council with these quarterly reports, because I think that it's illuminating for, I know the finance department has to live with this every day, so you see it every day, but I think it's good for the department heads to see where we are. It's good for the council to know so that we can course correct as we go, rather than, waiting 6 months, 9 months, whatever down the road. So thank you for the work that you and your team have done. So please relay that to them, and we look forward to your next report, and we're going to hope that it keeps getting better.
Right direction.
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem Cash.
No, thank you, and thank your staff for always keeping us on the right direction and keeping the community informed as well. So we appreciate that transparency. It goes a long way. Thank you.
I'll echo my partners here on the dais, but also keep echoing the one-time solutions are not a permanent solution, and as we are on the right trajectory to get ourselves under control, and I will also echo the overtime was a big concern, and it really threw our matrix off completely. But it's nice to hear that we're in that range where we don't need to adjust yet. Obviously, we're not out of the woods yet, but we're in the right direction, and I appreciate that. Your staff's done a great job, and not only that, it's the information you give us now. It's like, okay, we understand it now. Even if we did miss the risk issue, it's minuscule, but at least we know we missed it. And you guys are digging through these numbers now more than we ever have, and that's a testament to our city manager Domer and all of our directors and all of our employees really looking at everything in their departments to assist us to have a balanced budget and a balanced budget on. But I will remind everybody that you must shop local. That tax revenue is extremely important. You're going to buy it, make sure it's originated from here or it's going to go here. Make sure your purchases, don't buy at a Target in Pomona, buy at a Target in Laverne. If you're going to shop online, buy at a Target in Laverne and have it delivered to your house. Or the same as our grocery stores. We have enough grocery stores now. We have that open box store, which is really cool. If you haven't been there yet, that's really cool. But we've got some new businesses coming in. But you must fill up your gas here. You must shop here. You must buy local. I know we don't have a lot of clothing places, but that's something we'll need to work on. But at the end of the day, that's where our sales tax measure LV, and that's what we put it in place to pay for employee salaries and our police and fire. So, but thank you. You guys have done a great job. With that, may I have a motion? Thank you, Christy. Vote, please.
Item 10, motion by Cashel Fagita, seconded by Lau, and approved 5-0.
Thank you very much. Every year, the City Council conducts a performance evaluation of our city manager in closed session. Accordingly, our third discussion item is the amended employment agreement with City Manager Domer. Assistant City Manager Reynolds, will you report on this item, please?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Went ahead and put together a short PowerPoint presentation to just help supplement the report. In November of 2022, Mr. Domer started as our city manager with an agreement that came before City Council. Official first day was in December 19th of 2022. There was a first amendment approved on February 4th, 2024 to include eligibility to use the charger for vehicle charging here at the city, at City Hall, and also an increase of 1% to a total 10% total pension contribution, meaning Mr. Domer was paying more for his PERS retirement benefits. The city manager is also entitled to cost of living adjustments when the executive management group, being department heads like police chief, fire chief, finance director, those types of positions, as well as our unrepresented middle management positions. When they get a cost of living adjustment, he is also eligible for the same adjustment. His restated and amended agreement was approved on January 21st, 2025. That included a 5% merit increase with a future cap of 2.5% for merit increases. Mr. Domer's position as city manager is the only one on the salary chart that doesn't have multiple steps. And so that was included to basically have the same type of merit-based step system that the other positions in the city have. It also included a tuition allowance subject to budget availability, but that's actually never been used since that was added. And then a $100 monthly contribution to a retiree health savings plan was established. And then the last thing that was done was the agreement was extended through December of 2028. Recently, the City Council held in closed session a performance evaluation process. The performance evaluation ranked 36 criteria over the following areas: relations with the City Council, decision-making, organizational skills, budget and finance, community relations, personnel relations, and management skills. The overall rating was exceeds expectations, Council. The compensation and benefit changes in the amended agreement being requested for this round is an increase in the city manager's monthly vehicle allowance from $612 a month to $650. An increase in the city's monthly retiree health savings contribution would be going from $100 to $150. And then authorization for an additional annual vacation accrual cash out of up to 40 hours. Basically, there's an allowance now. There's two different cash outs that are allowed for employees. Vacation as it's accrued is a liability that the city oversees. So in my report, I mentioned that fiscally that's kind of a negligible thing. He's just allowed an extra cash out, but if the city were to separate or if he was to move on to another, either retirement or to another city, those hours would have to be paid out anyways. The annualized financial impact from the benefit changes that are being outlined is just over $1,000. And per the prior agreement, city manager is entitled entitled to a merit step increase of 2.5%. There's been talk about him possibly foregoing that. If it was awarded, the merit increase would cost an additional $6,700 would be the financial impact. The recommended action is that the City Council approve an amended employment agreement for the city manager, providing the city manager certain benefits based on a positive performance evaluation. And that concludes the presentation.
Thank you, JR. We're going to open up public comment on this item. Anyone wish to speak on this item? Mr. Bowen.
Good evening, Council. My name is Rick Bowen, 43-year resident. Going to take a little more than 3 minutes, so bear with me. These are the facts that, as I know it, during 2023 through 2025, most capital improvement projects, especially water and sewer, were either deferred or eliminated altogether. This was due to city mismanagement, even using the mayor's own words. During that same period, our firefighters served without a new contract for many months. Recently, our police served without a new agreement for over 7 months, eventually signing for a 3% raise. During the same period of time, the city manager allowed the expenditures of thousands of dollars of our money to be spent on a private, secret group project with no authorization from the city council. I mention these 4 examples of how our city manager has not done his job. Yet I stand here looking at his request for his 4th amendment to his original agreement that was signed in November 22, as we just saw. First of all, it seems like a classic conflict of interest, as this is presented by his direct report, the assistant city manager, who will most likely benefit from the city manager, his boss, demands. City manager has already requested and received 2 amendments, as was pointed out, one in February 24, the second in January 25, basically once a year. Remember that during that same time frame, the police were working without a new agreement for over 7 months. So while our police and fire fought for a new agreement, the city manager demanded that his existing agreement be amended 3 times. Now the city manager wants an increase in salary to roughly $264,000 per year. That equates to, at a 36-hour work week, that equates to $141 an hour. Remember, this is a 4-day-a-week job. Plus, he now demands a 6% increase in his auto allowance from $212 to $250. Why? Why does he get an auto allowance at all? Lives in Fullerton. If he lived closer, wouldn't need one. Plus, he gets free charging for electric cars, which he has banned other employees from getting. The other employees, such as fire and other people, are not allowed to plug in. Why? He wants a 50% increase from $100 to $150 towards his post-retirement health care, which is not offered to other city employees any longer. This is according to the city manager. Plus, he wants now another 40-hour vacation payout, which is a 100% increase over what he gets now. He wants to go from 40 hours a year to 80 hours a year. At $140, that's roughly $11,280 per year. I believe the max for most, if not all other employees, is only 40 hours a year. Yet he demands a 100% increase.
Rick, your 3 minutes are up, friend. You're good.
Enough to...
3 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Enough demands. Enough demands yet?
What?
I'm not done. He also wants a monthly
3 minutes are up. We give
No, I'm
everybody 3
going.
minutes.
I've sat here numerous times and watched other people.
Mr. Bowen, please continue.
Thank you.
Like it.
He also wants a monthly education allowance to attend ULV to get his master's so he can teach where else? ULV. Another classic case of conflict of interest. Will he remove himself of all future discussions regarding ULV? I think not. How can our city council, essentially board of directors and managers of our money, be held hostage to these type of demands? Let's see his annual reviews. Let's ask our citizens if he should receive raises and benefits not afforded to our real hardworking employees. Real leaders lead by example. This is a classic case of good for me, but not for thee. How can those same city employees respect someone that takes? It tells them they have to give. I ask the council to not give in to his demands again, make him live with his existing agreement, to see if he can live up to the job he already has. If not, let him quit, as he has done numerous past positions, to look for another city that will fall for his promises. Respectfully submitted, Richard Bowen, 43-year resident. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bowen. Any other comments on this item? Ms. Gabaldon.
Also a 30, I just added this up, 32-year resident here in town. I'm taking a bigger picture now. I sat through almost all the 6 hours of the budget day here a couple Saturdays ago, and I've been talking about this to so many people in town, and this is the range of items that I'm hearing about. We can't do any more pay increases. I haven't had a pay increase in 10 years. What do you mean that they're still doing this? What do you mean they're going to be raising taxes on us again? Do you know that I don't have the same amount of clientele? And this is like nail salon, hair salons, and stuff like that here in town. My clientele's dropped in half because people don't have the money anymore. County of LA is raising our taxes. They just put it on the ballot. State of California wants to do something about property tax that I just got wind of. Cutting costs is where we're heading, and it's just the reality of life of what's going on now, because you cannot bleed a turnip. There's no more money left for people. And these are the decisions where all this starts. It has to start at the top. We can't afford luxuries anymore. It's just not the reality anymore. That's just the bottom line now. Tonight, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve the 2.5%, because I get all that, but I think we need to start thinking out of the box and really starting to show the residents of town, because it is our money. Because I haven't found my magic money tree yet. I know it's Chinese New Year today, but I haven't found my magic money tree yet. And it comes from people in town where the median income, I keep bringing this up, is $58,000 a year. That's our median income. We have a few people way high, and we have a lot of people very low. We've got to start cutting costs here. And tonight's the perfect example of where we got to cut something. That's just bigger picture, and we got to be mindful of that, because taxes aren't going to get approved anymore in California, and especially in small towns.
Thank you, Ms. Gabaldon. Any other comments on this item? Mr. Ivy.
I've lived here in Laverne. Thank you for acknowledging me. Lived here in Laverne for over 30 years, and I want you to know we've seen managers and a lot of issues and challenges facing all of us here in Southern California. Costs are high and increasing. But if there are existing contracts there and there's opportunities to negotiate and hold top talent, then we need to hold on to it. And if the city council has determined that the city manager has done a great and exceptional job, we have to recognize that. And within those bounds, we have to pay for what the kind of expertise and practices and the type of caliber of person we need for the city. So I support what the city council is doing tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Ivy. Any other comments on this item? With that, I'm going to close public comment, bring up the dais. Mr. Crosby.
Thank you, sir. I just want to state how well I believe Mr. Domer's doing as the city manager. Mr. Domer came in beginning and wanted this 2.5% increase is not a negotiated item in his contract. It's already been in his contract. And when any of our employees or our employee groups, their steps and they move up to the next step, that's the step they receive. Mr. Domer actually requested to try to forego or move that 2.5%. I believe that is a bad precedent to state as well. We don't ask that of our water people. We don't ask that of our firemen, our policemen, our other staff. I don't believe we should be asking that of our city manager. That is one of the lowest paid city managers in this area as well. I believe we have a very good city manager, an excellent city manager, and the cost that's costing Laverne, we have him at a bargain price as well. If you just look at the cost of the city manager, brand new city manager in San Dimas, making probably about $30,000 to $40,000 more than Mr. Domer. I believe that we move forward with this contract and initiate this raise as it's owed now, not deferring it or definitely not foregoing it.
Thank you, Mr. Crosby. Mr. Johnson.
I'm in full support of the current contract going forward. I have no problem whatsoever with the service that we've been receiving from Mr. Domer. I think it's been exceptional. Glad that we have him.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Councilmember Lau.
I would concur with my esteemed colleague's estimation. I think the time when Mr. Domer came in, there was a lot of turmoil, and I think that the amount of work that he's had to do to correct that and to establish relations not just within the departments themselves, but within the community has been tremendous. I don't think that this is untoward. I think that this is, to keep someone at the helm that can move our city forward is what is needed and what is necessary. And so I'm in support of keeping the recommendations as enumerated in this subject item.
Thank you, Councilmember Crawford. Mario Pro Tem Cash.
Thank you, Mayor. In the course of this last year, I documented 218 calls to the city manager, and 35% of them have been after hours and on weekends, and you don't get overtime for that. And a lot of that has to do with talking about the city, how we can make it safer. A lot of these calls were different signs and lightings. And anytime there's a situation, I made that phone call to our city manager to also get guidance on some of my good ideas that I like to say I have. And you're always there for me, and every single time. I might not like to have some of the answers, but you know what? No just means try harder on some things, right? And that's what I do. And a lot of the people complaining or say in the past that the city manager wasn't responsive to them via emails. Well, I have over 50 emails of someone that you responded to constantly and was there with full respect in answering their questions. I know that person personally that has done those emails and call after call after call. So you've been there for us, you've been there for our community, and you've been there for people that have constantly asked you for guidance. With that, I appreciate you. And I documented this because I wanted to make sure that I reiterated to everybody out there. That's important to me. So that's what I have to say, and I hope you continue that.
And I just want to, you brought up a really good point, Cash, about the fact that he works 7 days a week, not 4. Because like you, I've had to reach out to the city manager on, he doesn't have days off. So after hours, on the weekends, when he's traveling to go see his kids, every time there's an issue, it gets corrected. So I appreciate that, and I thank you for that.
I'm going to echo everything you said. I think you're doing a great job. And not only that, as far as there is not a day that doesn't go by that I don't communicate with you on something. There's not a day that doesn't go by that you return my call, whether it be a weekend, whether it be when you're on vacation with your family, the same as all of us. And not only that, you're well respected in the communities all through the San Gabriel Valley. You're on the City Manager Steering Committee on the COG, and which is extremely important. You have relationships with all the city managers, besides our Assembly Member Harbidian, besides our Senator Rubio, besides our Congressman Gil Cisneros, which we were there today with Mr. Cisneros and a bunch of city managers and also mayors from the surrounding communities of San Gabriel Valley. You are everywhere. You have relationships with many people in a lot of the communities and a vast amount of knowledge that we rely on. And when you came in, as Councilman Ralau said, we had some issues. We had issues, and it wasn't pretty at first. We made some serious movements that shaping the future of our city. And again, I commend you for that. I think you're extremely honest. I know you are. I know that you care about the employees. You care about even for wanting to forego your raise, which I agree is not the thing we're going to do. Maybe postpone it till July, give you a 3 or 4 months. If that works, we'll do a July set time to get your 2.5% increase in, if that matrix works for you. But I think you're doing an astounding job. I think we're very fortunate to have you. As Councilmember Crosby said, you're a great deal for us, and we want to make sure that you're happy. And the reason why we did the education was the fact that instead of giving him more money, we gave him the opportunity to have education, to get a master's, and to get to work with our local community here, our local University of Laverne, to give him that education. And that's the things we do. We negotiate with our manager, and he is an extremely generous person with his time, but also very respectful of his salary comparative to the employees. And yes, we had a very difficult time with our contracts with our police department. But again, I'll state, we have never, ever negotiated like we did with our police department as a council and as our city staff and our city manager and our assistant city manager. And that's where we got an agreement that was a good agreement that was accepted and ratified by the police department. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes patience. It may seem like it's not moving, and we get a lot of flack from some of the community members. We're doing our job, and we're doing the best we can. And again, I believe in his contract. I think what he's getting is very minor, but I would agree that he needs his 2.5% increase. And if it's agreeable to him, the July time frame would be to institute it on July 1 and get what you have deserved coming to you. Any other discussion?
Well, I want to go back on that education piece where we give that to many of our bargaining employee groups
true.
as well. That this is not singling out Mr. Domer as the city manager. I just want to make sure that he's been transparent leading this group, and we had our meeting just 2 weeks ago on his leadership that he brought to us last year and the year before, when that never occurred before or hadn't occurred before in my time. So just been bringing out the information, his newsletters out to the community. And I'm going to say one more time, I don't even want to defer any agreement that was already been agreed to. And that is not, again, a good precedent to set with any of our employees or our employee groups.
I'm good with that. I will say that, as Councilmember Crosby said, many of our employee groups have a STEP program for higher education. He's not getting anything other than what his employees are getting. And his STEP, I do agree. If that's amiable, I'm fine with that. I would not keep the contract as it is and make it immediately then. Is that correct, Mr. Crosby?
That would be my recommendation.
Okay. We need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Item number 11.
With?
Amendment employment agreement with the city manager. Creation amendment employment agreement with the city manager following the city council.
With his 2.5% increase
With his 2.5%
immediately.
Immediately.
Vote, please.
I think we have enough for the record, and we'll go ahead and finalize the amendment as ordered by the council.
Item 11, motion by Cashel-Fagita, seconded by Crosby. That was approved 5-0.
Just one more comment as we're moving on to public comment. I want to thank our city assistant manager, JR, also. He has been instrumental with our city manager for making this transition possible, and also with his staff, and also with our social media presence, and also with all of the staff and all the departments. We're a much different place than we used to be. We're much more accessible. We're making things streamlined for our residents to be able to see what our city provides, see what the services, and any emergencies, we get out there immediately with our residents. So thank you. Thank you very much. With that, there's no other business tonight, so we move on to public comments. This is a time set aside for anyone wishing to address the City Council on items not listed on the agenda, but within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. We are going to keep a 3-minute time frame on this. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from engaging in a discussion on any item not on the posted agenda. Your concerns may be referred to staff or placed in discussion at a later date. Again, we are going to have the 3-minute time frame. At this time, those wishing to speak can come to the podium. I do have a card. Ralph J. Beltran.
Ralph J. Beltran from Covina, unincorporated, but I was born here, went through the school system here, and after working for 38 years and 24 years with the probation department, Camp Page and Camp Affaball, then I was promoted to trials maintenance supervisor. And what I wanted to do today is to clear up a matter that happened on October 7th of 2024. I made a presentation regarding the quantum financial system, which everybody here is going to be a part of. And I showed them the ZIM card, a ZIM bond, that you can redeem when you go to the Redemption Center. And I made numerous attempts to give them a list of what I wanted to have in my humanitarian project in terms of upgrades of all the baseball fields and numerous. But I forgot to include that the staffing would be covered by the humanitarian trust. So what happened after that presentation, the following day, someone here on the dais called the Laverne Police Department and said that I was proposing a scam. And the Laverne Police Department proceeded to hand it over to the Walnut Sheriff Station as the quantum financial system. So 2 squad cars from Walnut Station ended up in the front of my house. I wasn't there. My wife was terrified. And one of the officers said that I was running a scam when I made the presentation. So,
Mr. Beltran, if you could address the dais, please.
I am. I'm facing you. I'm facing everybody here.
You just face us if you don't mind, please. Thank you.
So what happened was that when the officers got there, they're terrified of my wife. Okay? Knowing that, I worked for the probation department for 24 years. Okay? So I didn't appreciate it. So what I did, I went to Laverne, then I went to the sheriff's station. I got the CAD number of the 2 officers that were there. So if it could happen to me, it could happen to you. But somebody on the dais, who, you know who he is, he called Laverne, then he called the sheriffs and the sheriff's officers, and one of the officers there actually requested and got a photo op from my wife's phone.
Mr. Beltran, your time
from
is
my
up,
wife's
sir.
phone.
Mr. Beltran.
And said that, yes, I'm aware of the quantum financial system.
Mr. Beltran.
So
Mr. Beltran,
I really
I appreciate
regret
it, but your time is up, sir.
that
Sir,
it took someone on the dais here,
Mr. Beltran,
instead of doing his diligence
Beltran, your
in
time
terms
is up,
of
sir. Thank
investigation before
Thank you.
you call the police
Shut his mic
on
off.
me and my family.
Thank you. Our next person is, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, Asgig Salazar. Did I say it? Did I close?
I'm a resident of Laverne over 43 years. I raised 3 kids and 3 grandchildren here, and at that moment I raised another granddaughter. We had an incident happen Friday of the 13th in front of Five Below and Target Shopping Center. I was volunteering for my granddaughter's Girl Scouts. We were selling Girl Scouts cookies. We noticed many homeless people going in and out of Target and with carts, but we're fine. But then a gentleman approached us, about 40, 50 years old, and asked phone number of one of the mothers. And she said, I'm sorry, I can't give it to you. He got flustered. And then he went back into Target and came back out and again asked the phone numbers. And then he asked my granddaughter, hey, little girl, give me your phone number. And he started jumping up and down and threatening us, really, that he's going to kill us and that that he was in the military and then he was going to bomb us and going to F us. And he wouldn't stop. And then he went behind our booth and started taking off his clothes and putting another shirt on. And I called the Laverne Police Department while he was doing there, and I gave an exact description of him. And I told him where he was heading at. He was headed to the Mongolian restaurant. He went in and out, still cussing and yelling at us that he's going to kill us. And then he went into going towards the marshal. So I felt like the police department delayed in coming, but they're saying that they were there in 5 minutes, but we were wondering where they were. But anyway, I approached, and then I saw 2 patrol cars patrolling the parking lot. Police cars. And I approached one of them. I said, are you looking for that gentleman? They said, yeah. And they said, oh, we can't find him. But he's probably back of Target in that homeless encampment. And I was like, oh, and then we'll find him over there. And that was it. When I got home, we were all shook up. The girls were shook up. The mother was shook up. I was shook up. And then I called the sergeant, and I had a talk with him about the issue. And he kind of like took it, like minimized it and said, well, you know, if we had found him, we had to evaluate him and see if he was mentally challenged. Or I said, it doesn't matter what it was. The fact is, there's this gentleman, homeless, trying to kill us, petrified my granddaughter and the other Girl Scouts and the mother and me. We were shaken up and being allowed to. That happened in Laverne. I mean, we're not safe to go to Target in a Girl Scouts. And, you know, and then the sergeant was minimizing and saying, well, and then I heard that apparently they get supervised by the state that they don't harass the homeless. I get that. I don't want them to harass it. We weren't harassing them. They were harassing us. He was trying to kill us. And that's serious. And I think the police should have taken more action. He was there. I saw him going, and he's still threatening, yelling at us all over, jumping up and down. Obviously, he was on something, but regardless all that, this is a serious incident where they're trying to kill and asking my 11-year-old granddaughter for a phone number. He says, hey, little girl, give me your phone number.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. We'll look into that. Thank you very much. The city manager is taking notes. Thank you. Anybody else have any public comment? Okay, we're going to close public comment. Councilmember Lau.
Just wanted to express thank you publicly to our staff and the residents that attended and participated at the strategic meeting on the 7th. It was definitely more than a few hours, so I know there are many of you that stay here for many hours on a Monday or Tuesday nights when we have our council meetings, but I know it's a whole different animal when you have to give up a Saturday. So thank you for your input and your feedback, and please look forward to other opportunities to engage and provide your input and feedback into how to make the city better. Just a couple of things. I wanted to say thank you to Councilmember Steve Johnson for being my alternate at the last month's Tri-City Mental Health Authority meeting. How did he do? He did great. So, yeah, it's like I saw the minutes. He did great. But But thank you very much for being there. I appreciate that. We have our next Tri-City meeting this Wednesday, so tomorrow. It will be the first one for Trent West. If you'll recall, we voted in Trent West as our representative for the city. So excited to see him in action tomorrow. Also wanted to advise that, as you all know, the State of the City address is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. At the University of Laverne. But I also wanted to note that there is a blood drive as well on campus from 10 to 4 p.m. So if you have the time and you're willing and able, I know there are folks in here that regularly give blood. Make it an opportunity to learn about the city and then go give some blood. So do some good while you're out there. And then it's about that time again. The 4th of July committee is starting to meet. So we will be convening our first meeting next week and talking about themes and grand marshals and all that kind of good stuff. And if that's something you're interested in, please let us know. We're always inviting other people to come and participate and help put on one of the best events of the community each year. And then last but not least, it is the Lunar New Year. So happy Lunar New Year, happy Year of the Horse. May you and yours have a great year of prosperity and good things. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Crosby.
Thank you. On Saturday, I had the privilege to represent the council at the Laverne softball opening day. I want to thank the police department being there as well. The girls, so enthusiastic there. They did a great opening day. Appreciative of the city and our first responders. I love their team names, the Pirates.
Pirates.
One of their names. They are just so enthusiastic and really appreciate that. I want to thank the Parks and Rec department, Yvonne Duran and her group. Last Friday's inclusion dance, the Sweetheart Dance, was a great event. It was about 150 people there from 5 to 8 p.m. Really, if you want a smile on your face, go down there when they're doing their dances. The next one is the Luau Dance, and we will promote that when it comes. The families and the residents that go there, just the smiles on their face just means everything that you do for them. So thank you so much. I also believe Mr. Ivy came in about Women's History Month, that promoting that and having a proclamation. So appreciate that as well. This last couple of weeks, our police department have been working a lot, especially with our high school. So I want to appreciate, I have a little statement that I wrote down about just acknowledging what the work they did. On February 4th, Laverne police officers and detectives responded to a reported threat directed at Bonita High School. The initial call was handled quickly and professionally by the police dispatcher, 3 officers, a sergeant, detectives, and a detective sergeant, and lieutenant who immediately responded to secure the campus and protect students and staff. As a precaution, the school was placed on lockdown while officers conducted a thorough assessment of the campus. When a second threat was received, the police department requested assistance from the LA County Sheriff's Department, which responded with 3 explosive detection K-9 teams. The campus was carefully searched, and the threat was ultimately determined to be a hoax. Once the search was completed, the school was deemed safe. Although the incidents caused a significant disruption of the schools and raised concerns among our parents and residents, our police staff worked closely with school administration to manage traffic, maintain order, and support our families. The City Council extends my sincere thanks to Laverne Police Department, the LA County Sheriff's Department, and all responding to personnel for their professionalism, coordination, and commitment to students and safety. The investigation remains ongoing to identify and hold the individual responsible accountable. And then this past week, they responded to a gun threat there as well. Our police department, we as schools and a school official myself, we have to treat everything as it would happen. And our police department is there for not only for our residents, our schools, all of our community. So thank you so much for being there and doing your support of all the people. And what they bring there, they don't just bring themselves, they bring all of their friends and neighbors and to come and help and support. So Laverne is a safe place because of them, and appreciate the work that you've done. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Crosby. Councilmember Johnson.
Well, Mr. Heffern, I'd like to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We sing it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Timothy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. The
60.
big 69.
Ooh.
Yep.
Wow.
Thank you.
And looking forward to your speech tomorrow morning.
Oh, yes.
8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
At ULV, the Abrams Center at C and 2nd Street. See you there.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mayor Pro Tem Kashavagita.
Well, he stole my thunder.
He gave you cookies.
I know he did. God bless him. God bless him. God bless all of you. I had the great opportunity last week, starting on February 6th, a week and a half ago, to be at the Veteran Post 12034, where they, with the Veteran Peer Access Network, the LA County Military and Veteran Affairs, through the Wheels for Heroes, donated a mobility chair to a veteran who's a sailor and is a resident here in Laverne that lives in the mobile home park just nearby. So I had that great honor to be there, and as they delivered that chair for him, giving him access more freely in the community. It's a community that he loves, and he has served our great country. So I was really honored about that. And, that just takes me to another step here. As, again, we come back, I'm telling everybody, we're turning that corner here. Graduation is coming closer and closer and closer. Some of you may have children or grandchildren that are graduating high school or even college this year, coming up in May. So looking forward to seeing what our future of Laverne holds for all these amazing students out there, whether they get into the trade schools or they get into college or join the good old military. I look forward to recognizing them here in our city, hopefully get that opportunity before they graduate and definitely be there for their graduation. So that's all I have, and appreciate you guys' time. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah. Well, thank you, and it's an honor to serve with you guys. I want a shout out to Councilmember Crosby. He was on the committee with me with the city manager's evaluation, and him being in the school district, me being in labor, as all of us have our specialties, it was a pleasure to be with him. But it's also a pleasure to be with all of you guys, and thank you for my birthday wishes. We do have a couple items tomorrow. Don't forget that the girls, 5 o'clock, girls Bonita Bearcats soccer team will be playing at semifinals at the stadium. Also, there was one other thing I want to talk to, and I'm drawing a blank because you guys sang my happy birthday to me. That is true. Memories. More Ginkgo biloba. One of the things, I did get a call from Denita Beauchamp, and I want to let everybody know that Joe Wetton, who used to sit right there, back second row with Kathy Newland, an LVC3 member, probably one of the original members, if I'm not mistaken, passed away this last Saturday. So she had been living basically next door, across from Kathy Newland, and she had to go in care with her family, and she passed quietly. So we'll be working on a closing in her memory in upcoming months. I know Kathy's out of town right now at a wedding in, I think, Indiana or somewhere. So I want to make sure she's here because she was as she said, it was a mother to her. So there is another issue. I know that nobody likes the increase in taxes, but there is a bond measure with the school district coming up, and it's $59 per $100,000 assessed value. We did have bond measures. I was on the bond committee, the bond oversight committee on measure A, B, and C, which for infrastructure changes and infrastructure improvements. These particular ones for this next bond measure is a $240 million bond measure that has to do with their 40-year-old HVAC systems, 50-year-old sewer and plumbing systems, temporary, the portable houses, the portable buildings, which some are 50 years old plus to be replaced, labs. The labs are way under what they should be as far as technology, and just one of those things we have to look at. It's coming out soon. We'll be pushing it out. I do support that. It's important that we keep our schools. One of the reasons why I value our properties are so much is because we have amazing schools, and I know a lot of us don't have children in the system anymore, but it's a great cause to have such great schools, great teachers, but we also have to good campuses. I'll be pushing more information out about Measure A, B, and Measure C when their sunsets. I know that Measure A, B sunsets in 2031, Measure C sunsets in 2036, but to explain what those were for and what this new measure is for is very important to deep dive this. The school board has sent that out already in the mail. I think a lot of people probably threw it away, but it's very serious. We want to make sure we have a great place for our children to have an education and make sure the facilities are good. And with that, our next regular scheduled city council meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 2nd, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. As a reminder, State of the City address tomorrow, 8 o'clock at the University of Laverne, Abrams Center. There's going to be snacks, there's going to be drinks and provided, and it's an open meeting, and please come. Anybody's welcome. Parking is good from 7 a.m. till 12 p.m. There's not going to be any citations. You can park in the parking structure, or you can park on 3rd and Bonita behind Monero Square. As a reminder, the upcoming events are on the back side of the City Council agenda, or you can also look on our website. We will adjourn at 8:47 p.m. Thank you all.